Hey guys, I'm Kel and I'm back with another review, this time by the band Impaler. They hail from Australia. They also have members hailing from the USA. And I'm talking to you about their debut release, which is an 8-track album called Death Cult. These guys have mixed properly death metal, black metal. There's all sorts of metal influences in here. It's certainly an interesting listen. Death Cult released this year, 2020, and it's on all streaming platforms, Bandcamp, Spotify, so be sure to go and have a listen. The Leaper starts this album off with a creepy intro of vocal growling and soundscapes that intensify into hectic metal, big fuck off drums, palm muted riffs and vocals simultaneously of gutturals and blood curdling shrieking in such a high pitched tone. But when those gutturals take the floor, it's just so big. It's inhuman like and just crushing across the heavy soundscapes of it all, with a synth in the background, just giving such a gothic vibe to this track. This is such a big listen, guys. This album doesn't relent at any point, so prepare your head to be pulled clear off your neck with crushing low tone riffs, deadly trem picks that are so dark. There's some wickedly mean, big full breakdowns here, and the diversity in those vocal folds, they just bring the pain. Some of the tracks shine really neat guitar solos, which is perfectly technical and crushing, while others display an ambient acoustic moment momentarily between the absolute penetration of sludge doom that can be heard, particularly in the track Pestilence. Damn, this was a short-lived track, but it completely broke me. It's such a huge doomful sound here. Behemoth is a track that's just full of full throttle aggressive energy with a manic melody through it and violent vocal delivery. The shrieks just completely cut right through me. I'm pretty sure you'll know what I mean when you listen to it. And the low tone gutturals just made me feel so small as a listener. The guitar work in this track just cracked me open, those layered sounds of heavy caveman riffs with a prominent guitar solo layered over the top. Just kill me dead already. Silence introduced with slightly schizophrenic sounding violins, I'm going to call it, before a crescendo of weighted musicianship just completely smashes. The death metal is so heavy here. It's a big sound within the Impaler. They do it very well. 8 tracks, all of which I wanted to just bat on about, but I can tell you one thing, they're all being very heavy and densely executed. The Impaler really have created something massive within this first release. You know, I was hearing sounds of Meshuggah. There's definitely Thy Art Is Murder in here for fans of Thy Art Is Murder. Touches of Behemoth, Rotting Christ. This is a wild, interesting and diverse listen. It's completely flooded with their originality too, that's for sure. They are paving their own way. And I've got to say, this album really does heavily lean on the death metal spectrum, but there are some really cool blackened moments in there, particularly by the guitar work and that blackened shriek that you hear, you know, over the top of the death metal guttural. It was such a good balance. And it's probably one that you should be listening to very loudly, but be careful when you're driving because it almost copped me a speeding fine. Death Cult is also complete with a cover of Slayer's Angel of Death, and I've always said, if you're going to do a cover, do it differently and do it well, and I think that the Impaler have achieved that here. So I'm glad that they added this to the album. I'm a little bit jury out with you know, original bands adding covers, but this was a really good listen, and I loved that they stained their own mark on this track, that's for sure. I listened to this album from start to finish, had my head spinning, let me tell you. You know, it was as if I had run the gauntlet after listening to this. It has such a weight behind it, some really neat deathcore elements in there, as well as some tight grooves. And it's just a really perfectly loud, busy, chaotic, frantic, violent and aggressive listen, that's for sure. So you need to take it on. Guys, go and have a listen to Death Cult. It's up on Spotify, it's now on Bandcamp, other digital platforms, and they will be releasing this on physical copy later in the year. So please follow the Impaler on Facebook, follow them on Bandcamp, Instagram, keep up with everything they're doing. And I'm being told there's a lot more to come from these lads, so I'm really looking forward to that. And to the Impaler, holy fuckers, guys, this was an absolute cracking debut and further proving how unhinged Aussie extreme metal is. So thanks for the metal. I'm Kelly T. This has been my Albums of the Week.
We'll be right back.